Daniel with Texas Tuk Tuks. In this video, we're going to talk about things that you should keep in your Ape for emergencies and things you could keep in your shop or garage or wherever you're going to keep your Ape. I know a lot of y'all run this as a business and you may go out there on any given day and need to do some battery maintenance or carb maintenance. So I'm going to talk about some little items that you will need to either keep with you at all times so that you can help get your truck started and running and on the road. So the first thing is these little jump boxes. These things are great. I'm starting to see them now pop up everywhere. I've seen them at Walmart, even at our Atwoods over here. And this basically is a little power pack that just jump starts a battery. So you say you've left your Ape parked in your storage shed for 2 months, and now you have an event or a gig to do this weekend, and your battery is dead. This is a lifesaver. You just hook this up to your battery, turn it on, boom, let you start the battery. Even if it's bone dead, this will jump start your Ape easily. So buy one of these. Actually, this one I ordered on Amazon. It comes in a whole little kit. So this thing is great. You see how small it is, and it's powerful enough to jump start your Ape no matter where you are, even if your battery is dead. This will give a shock to the battery to start your Ape. So that's the first thing. Highly suggest keep this in the Ape with you or in your storage shed or garage or wherever you keep your Ape, okay? That's the first thing. People always ask me about like maintenance on these things and what can go wrong, what can break on an Ape. One of the few things that ever could go wrong or break on an Ape is the cables. The whole thing is operated with cables. The throttle, the clutch, and the gear shifter are all run by cables. So if one of those breaks, then you're dead in the water. It's like you're in the creek with no paddle. You can't go anywhere. You need cables. So it is a very good idea to keep you a set of cables in the Ape. And I can do another video later to show you how to change cables because it's simple, but it also has a few little things that you need to know. But if you've never seen what these cables look like, for example, this one is a clutch cable. This is when you pull your clutch handle, this is the cable that is running all the way to the back of the clutch. So you need to keep one of these. Where they break, if they're old and they get worn out, and it's been over the last 50 years of it turning like this, it'll start breaking and you'll end up with just one little thread, and then one day you'll go out there and pull the clutch and it'll just snap because it broke. Because of 50 years of use, these cables don't last forever. So having cables on hand is, if you find out that your cable broke on any given day and then you have to wait for me to mail you one of these, you may be a week or something. So having cables on hand, that's a clutch cable. These are gear selector cables. You actually need 2 of these because there's 2 that operate it. One pulls it and one pushes it. And they're a little bit thinner than the clutch cable, but you need 2 of these. And then there's a throttle cable as you pull your throttle. So there's a whole set of cables that you need that I suggest keep on hand, because if any one of these break, you're going to be a week out waiting for these to come. So if you want to be proactive, have you a set of cables to keep. All right, another handy thing to have is a multimeter, an ohms meter, or a battery tester, is whatever. Again, Walmart or AutoZone or anywhere. This tests your battery. You just touch the positive and negative on the battery. It'll tell you if you're at 12 volts, you need to be at 12 volts to start your Ape. If you drop down to 11.5 or 11, it's not going to want to start. And this will easily tell you if that's what your problem is. So I like keeping this on hand as well. Keep it in the Ape or in your garage. Okay, and I've talked about this in a lot of other videos. If save half your problems, just keep your battery on a tender anyways. And it's not like these things are just eating batteries and killing batteries. It's just, if you let an Ape set up for say 2 months with nothing, the battery might be dead. It's a 50-50 chance you go out there. So let's say, you are running a business and you have your Ape and you park it in a storage shed somewhere. If you can keep this plugged in, that's one less thing to worry about. You know that your battery will be good. Or better yet, take your battery out, take it home, plug it in the garage, keep it charged up all the time. That just solves a lot of problems. Half the time when people call me, my Ape won't start. It's like, well, test the battery. If the battery's dead, if you let it set for 2 months, your battery will be dead. So just because of the battery just sitting there and not doing anything. Okay, so battery tester, that's good to have. Carb cleaner is good to have. Anywhere, you can buy this anywhere. My dollar store has it, Walmart, wherever. Carb and choke cleaner. This will help you start it. You shoot it into the carburetor. If it won't start, it's like just giving it a jump start. So having this on hand in your Ape is a good thing to have. It's a lifesaver. All right, various tools. So if you're going to start getting into doing the maintenance yourself and you want to carry tools, a good little toolkit is essential. You need various pliers, needle nose, regular pliers, different kinds of screwdrivers and wrenches. Now, there is one tool that's very specific to Vespa and Piaggio. This thing is called a third hand. It's one of the tools you need if you're going to do your own cables. If you're going to put new clutch cables and gear selector cables, what this thing does is it grabs the cable and it pulls it tight and it holds the barrel nut so that you can wrench it down. So these you have to buy at a scooter store like a Scooter Mercado or Scooter West. It's called a third hand. So I always keep that as well, because if I'm going to do cables, this makes life a lot easier. If you don't have this, the other way to do it is pliers and a screwdriver. You pull it and you push it, which is essentially what that tool is doing. Pulling and pushing at the same time. So it can be done, pull and push with this and tighten, but that's why they call this a third hand, because this is doing two things, and then your other hand can do the third thing. So that's that. And then a little toolkit that I like to carry, even with my vintage scooters and Vespas and Apes, is a set of millimeter, right? You want metric. Because everything on an Ape, since it's European, it's not standard. It's all metric, millimeters. So, and there's a lot of stuff on there that is small. Like when I get into doing the cables, there's a 7mm nut, an 8mm, 9mm. So you need all the smalls. And this is my little kit. It's got everything from like a 5mm up to a 13, 14mm. And then this little tool roll just rolls up. You can get these. That keeps all your millimeter wrenches all wrapped up. So there's some of your essentials. These are things that I would say, you know, have it and keep it. Now, one other thing I will talk about is, like say if you don't have the little jump box, you can do it this way. Just make sure you carry jumper cables, because anybody with a car can help you jump off your Ape, and or have you a spare battery. So again, if you're running a business and you have forgot to keep your battery charged up and you go up there and you're like, I need the Ape to start today. Well, having a second battery on hand that you've kept on the charger in the garage will help you out. You just swap out the batteries real quick and you're good to go. And again, the Apes aren't killing batteries. It's just many people forget to keep it on a charger if you haven't used it for a lot. So jumper cables, spare battery, stuff like that. All right, another thing, tires. So all your Apes come with a spare tire. It's under the seat, right? But there's another part of that, the inner tube. You have inner tubes that fit in those. And these inner tubes I can sell you, the cables I can sell you, because we have all those parts. Most of the time I have them on hand, or I can get it within a week or so. So the inner tube inside your tire, if it keeps going flat, you may have a slow leak. Lots of times the old inner tubes will start leaking here, you know, or leaking there, or whatever, or it gets punctured. So check your spare tire, make sure it's holding air, and if not, get you some inner tubes. You can take this to a local tire shop and just have them put the inner tubes in for you. All right, that's Daniel with Texas Tuk Tuks. Thanks for watching. We'll check our other videos. See y'all soon.